Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're going to jump right into it here. You see me going around and doing all these sourcing videos, but what the heck am I actually selling? So this would be a good example. You might remember this from one of my videos in which I showed you me doing some retail arbitrage at Target for this Super Mario rug. I got it for 19.99, new with tags. Anything Super Mario, I jump on, especially if it's nice and big like this, and an area rug. I know from trying to decorate my own man cave in the past that finding area rugs like this are challenging to find. Now, I had it listed for $64.99. And Daisy, let's see what it's sold for here. She helped out with the photography. As you could tell, she was hard at work. And she helped us get a sale price of $62.50 for that, folks. So just took a best offer of just a couple bucks off, and very happy with that. I think actually I just lowered the price a little bit, and someone actually bought it. Buy it now. So yeah, real happy with that. I will do that all day. So that just goes to show you there is stuff you could find in places like Target and Walmart to make some good flips on. So let's go on to the next item. Now, that's actually number 9 on the list. I went a little bit out of order because I want to start with that video. This is a top 10 list of the best sales that I had in the month of June 2021. So let's go actually to number 10. And we've got Batgirl right here. Now, when I pulled this out of Primetime Treasure Shed quarters, I was just looking through some comic books. I was instantly drawn to the art on this, and that's actually what helped this comic book sell for $57. And what's distinctive about the art is just the way the body is sculptured and the colors that are used. It's just incredible. The look in Batgirl's eyes, it's very seductive looking. The way she has her hand pose and everything. I mean, this is just the way she has her hand on her hip and everything. I mean, this is just something that people just love. They love the art of this. Now, cover price on this was just $2.99. You'll see the initials down there. It says ATG. That's actually a nickname for the cover artist, the one and only Art Germ. That's his nickname. His real name is Stanley Art Germ Lau. So look into covers, do some research on things that Stanley Art Germ Lau has been involved in, because those, as you can see, if you could find some of those comic books, they could really command high prices, and this is a really good example of something that, an average person, who got a lot of comic books and is just selling some of them, might not even realize that this is something that has value, because it's not a first issue. It's not a 100th issue. I might say, oh, it's just a number 12. It's relatively modern, right? Came out in 2010. Yeah, there you go. $57 sale. So a big shout out, by the way, to Batgirl. I grew up with Yvonne Craig as the 1960s TV Batman show, Batgirl. She was one of my first crushes, but sorry, Batgirl, you can't hold a candle to Julie Newmar. So shout out to Catwoman, who is my original favorite, my original crush from when I was a kid. So I know a lot of guys watching this can't relate to what I'm talking about. So let's move on to the next one. So this would be number 8, and this is from my best estate sale find ever video. So I'll make the screen a little bit bigger here, and you might remember me pulling this book out. Now, I've talked to you about this book in prior videos. I've actually bought this twice from the same estate sale dealers, which are the ones that banned me from estate sales going forwards. Now, you could see I showed that this had sold previously for $80 plus shipping. I actually wound up having a second printing of this. Now, this book is just nostalgic for a lot of young girls. There are many who have this book who will never sell it, will never let it go, because it's just so important to them from their childhood. This one came out in 1971. So just showing you. Now, this was a May video, but it wound up selling in June for $75. Now, that book, at checkout was like $1, So and don't peel these stickers off, by the way. The original stickers like that came with the book, people like that. It adds an additional touch to it. So add some character to it. So it's a great book. Put that on your list for sure. The Big Tidy Up. Okay, so that brings us to our next item right here, and I always lose track. So let's see, we were at let's see, 10, 9, and then that was 8. So okay, so we're at number 7 here. Another good example, by the way, with this comic book here. Now, this is a trade paperback, so this is a collection of a bunch of different comic books into one. I'll show you what to look for here on the side. You see here how thick it is. So this is much bigger. It's a complete collection too. So it has a lot of it has a lot more comic book issues stuffed into it than the traditional trade paperback, which is about half the size of that one. But this one sold for $75, even though I picked it up for $1 in a bookstore, a specialty bookstore. They just had it on a just on a shelf of blowout books. But the thing is, even though this came out in 2019, so folks, that's 2 years ago, because it's out of print, people can't find it, and Iron Man is such a popular character. Uh, now it's in demand. You got a $75 sale on your hands with that one. So very happy about that. Be on the lookout for it if you ever come across it. Next, this is a Mrs. Primetime find. I know a lot of you love the Mrs. Primetime finds. She is an eagle eye with Facebook Marketplace. So you can see all these different places where we go sourcing, right? Some retail arbitrage, Facebook Marketplace, garage sales, estate sales. I mean, we're looking all over the place for stuff. So she found this listing that came up for somewhere. It was like $3 or $5. I can't remember which. But this is a Mickey ears hat, and it came out in the Germany section at Epcot. And these are very collectible. Now it's limited edition, and you can see there you got the Bavarian pretzel there, and you got the German flag, and you got the little German hat and the belt or suspenders going over the top of the helmet. I mean, it's awesome. It's just such a cool piece, and it's an incredible condition. The people who were selling this were moving, and this belonged to one of the kids who had moved out of the house, and the parents called the kid up and said, "Hey, we came across your Germany Disney hat, do you still want it?" And the kid's like, "No, I don't want it anymore." So like, okay, and this is how you wind up getting stuff cheap. If you're not in the reselling community, you're kind of thinking about it like, well, how do you guys get this stuff so cheap? This is exactly how. It's just people who just don't realize the value of stuff sometimes, or just don't care. They don't want to bother with it. They don't want to mess with it. Just want to, get rid of it. So there you go. And that turned into an $80 flip. Now I will tell you, a lot of people in my area were jumping all over this. We were the first people to get it, but she said if we didn't pick it up, she had like 10 or 20 people that messaged her for this. So it could be very competitive. Most of those people are probably resellers who are looking for things like this. In fact, you may be watching this video. You might be one of the people who messaged her. So you win some, you lose some. I've lost out on things like this, so you got to be quick. But moving on to the next one, I want to thank Zach for this. He is a subscriber to the channel, and he knows to come to me for manga books. So I've talked about manga books before. They are basically Japanese comic books, but they're in a digest format. So you could see here the size of them. So they look like a soft cover book. You open them up, and you're going to see black and white pages inside. This is a title called No Need for Tenchi. There's 12 of them in the set, so it's a complete set. I got them for $1 a piece and sold them for $145. So I gave a little bit of a discount. I had it up for a little bit higher, but it was a good flip to a repeat customer. And I want to thank again Zach very much for helping to support the channel and the business with your business. Thank you very much. So other folks, learning experience, be on the lookout for that title for sure. All right, so the next one, this actually goes back to one of my favorite ever videos. If you haven't seen it, I will link to it up top. It was the main video on my channel for a long time, pinned up top, until I did the Mile High series, where I went to the world's largest comic book store. So if you haven't seen that one, click to that. That's another fun one. But this one was incredible because I went into this crawl space that had just been basically evacuated after being filled for decades. And as you can see, there were all these Star Wars toys in the box, and I'm up in the crawl space. Every single one of these things here I have sold and shown them in prior What Sold videos. But I also found the Death Star playset. And you can see how dirty it was in there. I mean, it was just crazy. I actually had a face mask on in this video before people were even wearing face masks and knew about COVID. So I was pioneering the face mask in this video. You could see it. So yeah, now I had to clean that up because it was exposed to the elements for all. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Pioneering the mask right there. So anyway, now I had that sitting in my shed for just a long time because it was a cleaning project. I just kept putting it off, putting it off. So one day I was like, all right, I got to clean this thing up. And it did not have all the pieces. Like these parts on the front. This isn't even how it's exactly supposed to look on the front, but I did the best that I could with it. You can see this side here looks okay. But when we go on to the other side of the play set, you could see here, and I'm going to show you some strategy about this in a second with your listings and your photo selections. You can see I put this, you can see all that white there. That's not white that could be wiped off. That's actually damage to the plastic. But here's the thing. Now, I could have put that picture as my second picture, but what you worry about in this situation is that if someone comes in on this picture first and then they click on this one, you run the risk that you could scare them off with this. You want to hook them in as much as possible. So you hook them in with this one, then you hook them in with this one, then you got this one here, top down, and then show the one that has some of the damage on it. Because at this point, they might rationalize this away. Whereas if it's too early, again, it might scare them off. But this eventually led to a $155 sale. It was all profit because, if you go back to that video, I got that stuff for really cheap. And, I made a killing on all the stuff in that, in that video. So that was the last big piece. There's a couple other smaller pieces and stuff, but that's the last big piece. All right, so another comic book. For those of you new to the channel, I do specialize in comic books. Venom is a very popular character. This is the first time that Venom had a full cover appearance. It's Amazing Spider-Man 316. So if you see it, that's why it has significance. Again, don't always think that it's just #1 issues of comic books or things in like increments of 50 or 100. Yes, those are often popular, but there's all these subtleties to other issues. My favorite artist, by the way, Todd McFarlane, did this. Absolutely love the Todd father. His detail is absolutely amazing. And this one went for $169.99. Love that price. This is just something I obtained in a massive collection that I bought. So believe it or not, this one was obtained for about 15 cents a piece. Again, you could get them for this when you're buying in bulk like that. Plus, Venom's always been popular, but this actually went up in value because of the Venom movie that came out recently. So there's a lot of reasons that this is just jumped up even more in price. So that's that one. So now we're going to move on to the next one. This is number two on the list, the Eternals. Now there's an Eternals movie that is coming out in November of 2021. They're these immortal creatures that were made by the Celestials, and they're going to be part of the Phase 4 rollout of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's just jumping the price of these books up like crazy. So if you come across anything Eternals when you're going through a comic book collection, pull it out because it might have some value. I mean, this book didn't have anywhere near the value that it has now due to all the speculation about the movie. So this one, again, one of these ones that it was just sourced in a collection for 15 cents, and here you go, it winds up being a $260 sale. Now, mind you, this is not a collection that I just bought last month and just flipped to $260. This is something I don't mind sitting on some of these comic books, sometimes even for years. That'll happen because I have so many books, and then I just organize them, and then when something comes out that's relevant, like a movie, I'd like, okay, Eternals, that's exactly what happened here. Same thing with Venom. I mean, there's a reason why I'm putting these books out at specific times. Timing is really important with comic books to getting the higher prices out of them. Although, if I waited 10 months afterwards, I'll still be able to get a high price, but it might not necessarily be as high as it is now because sometimes the market falls down a little bit on it. And that leads me to the last item, number one. I don't even have the eBay listing up for it here, but you all know what this is. Thank you so much for 100,000 1,000 people watching the video that came after this one. They want it back. If you're brand new to it, watch this one and then go watch the one after that, and then watch the one where I got banned from these estate sale dealers. This is the book with the yearbook that had the Frank Sinatra signature in it, the Frank Lopez signature in it, Vincent Lopez, sorry, and the Ziggy Elman, and there was another one too, Buddy Rich. So, and there was all other things. You got to go watch the video to see all the historic elements about this piece that made it all come together. To have me, I had it listed for $2,500. Long and the short of it is the family found out the video was online through a friend. They contacted me. They wanted the item back, and I wound up selling it to them for $500, which was well below market price, as you can see here, just for Frank Sinatra's signature alone. One of the things I haven't emphasized enough really is that if I were to have taken that item and had it like formally evaluated and had all the signatures validated by a place like JSA or PSA, and then had it sent off to a place like Sotheby's or some other big name auction house, there's no telling what could have happened with this. This could have came in for much more than $2,500. I mean, it could be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. You just have no idea once it gets in that kind of auction space what could happen to it. So again though, I got it for cheap and was happy to sell it back to the family. Thank you so much for all the kind comments on that video. There were some people who said that they would have given it back for free, but as I've explained in that video many times, I do feel that there's some value to going and hunting a piece like that down, making the video, doing all the historical research, and like I said, the family did want me to take a finder's fee for it. So that was their offer, and I was happy to take it and get it back to them. So that was the big sale of the month. So I hope everyone is interested and got some good information through this video. If so, make sure that you hit the like button. Tell me what your favorite find was of the month for sure. And before you go, make sure that you stop off and check out, and I'm going to call him by the right name this time, Stuart. I'm not going to call him Franklin. I always mess that up, but his real name is Stuart. But he has a store, Franklin Hill Ventures. Go check it out. He's a member of the channel. Something I do for all members is that I do highlight your store. So there'll be a link to his store in the description section and in the comment section. So you can go check it out, support him, and go tell him Primetime said hi. He's got a lot of great items. I've bought stuff from him before. Really, really great guy. Thank you so much, Stuart, for being a platinum member of the channel. And if you want to see how to join, just click on this join button right here and you could get featured as well. Do it for all members, and this video is going to be up early for members, so that's another perk that I do for anything that I don't premiere or live shows. Those obviously we got to do those live. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you back at the next one. Take care.